Hi, folks, and welcome to another Sunday morning Samoflange. I'm going solo, maybe for the rest of the month. Who knows? Got some Christmas themes here. Now, these two, I'm doing two topics at once, as you can see in the title here. And the reason for that is maybe with two people, I could go 30 minutes with one of these topics. Maybe. I feel like each of these topics are about a 15 conversation with two people and a 10-minute conversation with one, maybe. We'll see if I can stretch 30 minutes out of this. Doesn't have to always be 30 minutes, but we'll try our best. Usually we can hit it, though. And with these two topics, I think I got a pretty good chance at getting a good discussion from this, I guess. So the first thing I want to talk about is the top 5 hymns. A long time ago, the missus was on here. We were doing top 5 Christmas songs. I believe Mikey was on this one, too. In fact, I saw the episode. It was can't remember when it was, but maybe I should have gone back to hear who all was on it, because I know that my wife was naming hymns in the middle of some of her favorite Christmas songs, and I told her that hymns were something that you do separately, that I would do separately. There's a lot of good hymns that I really love, and but I was just going for Christmas music, just regular Christmas music, not hymns. Now, of course, a lot of us know these hymns. We sing them all the time. Whether you go to church or not, you still remember some of the classic hymns. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to see what my top 5 were. And my top 5 were very easy. In fact, 4 of these, without a doubt, I got immediately. My 5th one was the one I had to pick between a lot of them. And I said, well, out of all the remaining classic ones, Joy to the World is number 5. Joy to the World, I mean, who doesn't love Joy to the World? It's fine. Not one of my favorites, but when I was looking at all of the other Christmas hymns, I decided that Joy to the World, the ones that I did not pick, and there's 4 that I absolutely love, and I love when we sing it. Joy to the World is always going to be sung at every church, anytime during Christmas. Absolutely guaranteed. The other ones, and Joy to the World is sung more than once around the Christmas holidays. The ones I'm picking, there is one that I know is sung probably a little bit more than once during the holidays, at least at our church, and the rest of these are only once. And I cannot believe, I'm so upset. One time we made it late to a Christmas worship, and they were just finishing up the song. I was like, no. And I was like, I cannot believe I missed singing that song. They'll never sing it again. My sister's like, no, they'll sing this one again. I said, no, they won't. They only sing it once a year. And it's a very popular one. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Joy of the World is one you're going to hear every time at any church. And it's good, and I see why, and everyone loves it. And it's sung about maybe 3 times during Christmas at our church, maybe more. It's a good one, but not one of my favorites. But out of all the other ones, it got number 5. So not spending much time on that, but who doesn't love Joy of the World? The next one, O Come, Emmanuel. Only sung once during Christmas time for our church. I don't know why. It's such a beautiful song. It sounds great, especially when even if you hear it in a choir. And you could say these were top 5 choir songs too, but boy, it sounds good. Boy, it sounds good in church. O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. It's just great. Unfortunately, and I'm so happy when I get to sing it, but once a year. And then we go back to Joy of the World. Dang, Joy of the World must be every week at our church. But anyway, Emmanuel, number 4. Number 3, piece of cake here. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Only sung once, well, maybe twice at our church. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day. It's just good. And of course, I remember there was a sermon that went on about God rest ye merry gentlemen, and it's God rest ye merry, gentlemen. Meaning don't rest well, happy people, happy men. God rest you merry. May your rest be merry, and then gentlemen. And I was like, oh yeah, I never thought about that. I thought it was just merry gentlemen, like happy gentlemen. And that's not what the hymn's talking about. But anyway, God rest ye merry gentlemen, excellent. Sung maybe twice at our church. Number 2, Angels We Have Heard on High, only sung once. Isn't that amazing? Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain, and it's the glory Gloria. Now, here's the only problem with this. My church plays the music for hymns slow. I mean, slow. I made a joke. Now, we used to have an assistant pastor. His wife was on the piano. And when his wife was on the piano, she picked the tempo up. Because she's like, wow, it sounds like you're in a funeral. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. And so she would pick up the tempo. And so it was Gloria in excelsis Deo. And it was perfect. That was the perfect tempo for me. And she did all of the hymnals like that. And I was like, wow, that's the way to do it. And because we were on the same wavelength, she thought, well, man, it's just too slow. I mean, it's just too slow. I said, yes, like we're singing at a funeral. And like I always made the joke, how upset is everyone going to be when if we're singing these hymns in heaven and we're not singing them at the super low, depressed tempo that we're so used to singing. I mean, sometimes some of the hymns at our church are sung so slow, I can't sing it anymore. It just takes I just stop singing. It's just way too slow. I cannot go that slow. I'm asking for a tempo, but it's just so bad. And those Gloria Deos, whatever, sometimes get a little long because the music, and by the way, the stanzas, everything gets slower. Like our piano player just slows it down even more. It's just an endless cycle of just dragging the songs through the mud. But Angels We Have Heard on High is still an awesome song. I love it. There is, if you're into, you got to check YouTube out for this. But Family Force 5 has a Christmas album, and on it is their version. It's kind of it's a rap rock version of Angels We Have Heard on High. It's so much fun. Family Force 5, YouTube it. Angels We Have Heard on High. It is not on any streaming service, but it's on YouTube for free, and it's fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, so number one here. Number one, only sung once a year at our church. Probably one of the most popular hymns, Christmas hymns ever. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. You think a church would sing that more than once a year. I swear to you. Ever since I grew up in this church, they only sing it once. They sing it once and then they're done. Someone high up in our church, maybe it's the pastor, maybe it's the elders, I don't know who, hates that song, I guess. So you only get one version of it. You only get to sing it once, and you never get to sing it again. By the way, Away in the Manger, never sung at our church. We never sing Away in a Manger. Isn't that kind of weird? You never sing that one. Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem, they'll sing once, Silent Night once. That is so slow, though. I can't stand it. But Hark the Herald Angels Sing, great song. And it's only sung during the first Christmas-style service, and then they will never sing that song again. It will never pop up, guaranteed. They will never sing that song. I bet if they even go caroling, some people in our church still do caroling around the area. I bet they don't even sing it when they carol. I mean, I don't know who, and maybe the music director hates it. I don't know. But like I said, Angels We Have Heard on High does get a second. It gets an encore sometimes later on during Christmas season. But Hark the Herald Angels Sing once. It's like A Little Town of Bethlehem. But once, we're not doing this again. We're not going to sing this song again. It's like one of the most popular Christmas songs. And to be honest, when I was a kid, I remember my grandmother asked me, what is your favorite hymn? Because at night, when she babysat, she'd bring out the hymn book. We'd sing a few hymns before we went to bed. I'm from the South. It was normal. And so my grandmother said, well, Matt, what's your favorite? Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It was in July or whatever. I didn't even consider that a Christmas song for the longest until I realized later on it was for Christmas. But I just loved singing it. I just loved Hark the Herald Angels Sing, glory. I just thought it was such a great song. And I still love it. It's just really great. And so we would sing that one. I remember when my grandmother, when I pick a hymn, I always picked Hark the Herald Angels Sing because I just thought it was so wonderful. And like I said, our church only sings it once, so it's kind of sad. But those are my top 5 Christmas hymns. Let me see. Give me your top 5 in the comments below. I'm trying to think of, are there other ones I missed? Other Christmas hymns? Like I don't like Silent Night. The First Noel, I don't even know if we sing that in our church. I don't think we sing that one. I know I've heard it before and I've sung it at other places, but my church, I don't think that they don't play like Away in the Manger. Who doesn't play Away in the Manger? But they've never sung that one. For some reason, they don't like. And I remember that rarely, like in a regular standard Trinity hymnal, anyone who goes to church, my church, when the songs get in the 700s, that's kind of the quote unquote newer stuff, even though it's not that new. But I remember my church would never sing. They sang maybe one or Trust and Obey. That was in the 700s, and that was really the only one they would sing, and they wouldn't sing any other one from the 700s. And we used to have a thing called New Song Sunday. Like one at the they started this thing like one they'd pick a hymn that we had never sung before, and they'd teach us how to sing it because they wanted to sing through all the hymn book. Well, I kept waiting for them to pick. So that's only like 12 songs a year, but they would pick something we never sang before, and then we'd sing it every Sunday for 4 Sundays in a row. But they never picked anything in the 700s. Never. Like I said, Trust and Obey was the farthest into the 700s we ever got. And that was maybe the only one. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. And to be honest, that was back in the day. No one, they do not sing that song ever. I mean, someone has it for those 700s in the hymns. But anyway, that's my top 5 hymns. That was fun. What was that? 12 minutes? Booyah. You know, what a job there. So anyway, let's see. Moving on. So top 5 places I'd like to visit for Christmas. I didn't know. This was an idea I had a long time ago. I didn't know if it could be a top 5 with someone. Mikey, he's doing well. He has a kid, a little girl. He's loving life. But what is this? October, November, December. This is month 3. Kid's 3 months old. He's not coming over anytime soon. We did try to meet in the middle, and we're going to try again to see if he can, come over to do another one with me. But anyway, he is, he would have been good for this one. Anyone else, maybe not. But I wanted to talk about my top 5 Christmas destinations that I'd like to go visit. Oh shoot, I didn't put these in an order. I don't have these ranked. I just realized. Ooby dooby. Well, this is going to be hard. Not really. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where would I put this one? Maybe I put that over there. Okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. All right, sorry about that. Thought I had these down pat here, but I don't. All right, so yeah, I think I got the list. Number 5 is Las Vegas. I hear good things. I saw something on the Travel Channel a long time ago. Las Vegas has now gotten super expensive, but back in the day, it used to be considered a cheap trip. You could get a cheap flight over there, get a good deal on a hotel during, certain times of the year and Christmas. You could do it. I remember it was one of the Travel Channel's 5 best deals or whatnot. Just that you could get some good deals at Christmas around there. And they showed a bunch of lights, a bunch of fountains dancing to music and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that'd be a place I'd like to go. Plus, I'd like to go to Vegas. I remember one year for my anniversary, my boss used to fly me out to work. And I was like, dude, boss, you want to get me fired? I mean, divorced, because I was gone just about every anniversary. It just so happens that I would always be falling that I have to go travel for the company. So every once in a while, I'd invite my wife to come with me. And this is one of the times. And I gave her the option. We were in Phoenix at the time. I said, look, we can go to Disneyland for the weekend, extended weekend, because it was a holiday the next weekend, maybe Labor Day or something. And I was off. I said, or we can go to, instead of Disneyland, we can go to Vegas. Now, I was kind of going Vegas because there's a lot of things I want to do in Vegas. And my wife was all for Vegas, and I got super excited. But that's because she wanted to see Britney Spears. The last thing I want to do on the face of the earth. Well, probably not the last thing, but it'd probably be a Taylor Swift concert. But Britney Spears. Taylor Swift wasn't that big back then, but Britney Spears was. And I was like, oh, no. I did not want to do a Britney Spears concert. So then I about faced and I started pitching hard for Disneyland, which is where we ended up going, which was a lot of fun. I'll be honest, it was worth going to Disneyland once. I'm glad we did it. But I never got to visit Vegas. And Vegas around Christmas, could be fun. Number four is a spot that one of my friends went on her honeymoon, and she told me all about Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hershey, Pennsylvania has a theme park. It's where Hershey chocolate is. She said the air smells like Hershey. She went, she and her husband got married around Thanksgiving, went to the Thanksgiving parade, and then spent the next weekend. Did they get married on a? I don't remember. But then they spent the next after that in New York. They went down to Hershey. Maybe it was a 2 week honeymoon. I don't know. Paul must have taken her all out. But they spent a week during the Christmas season in Hershey, and she couldn't stop talking about it. I started checking it out, and it is in like if you look at top 5 best destinations, Hershey, Pennsylvania is one of those usually. And it seems like go all out for that. And of course, the air smells like chocolate. Why wouldn't you want to go? So it got me interested. And I'm not very big of a travel guy, of course. Like any of these places, well, let me think about this. I mean, some of these places I want to go just to visit friends, too. That's why they made it higher on the list here. But as Christmas places go, Hershey, Pennsylvania, you could do worse, my friends. You could do worse than Hershey, Pennsylvania. But looking at some of the, they got like a little theme park there. Not that theme parks are going to attract me to that. But it looks kind of nice, looks kind of quaint. So why not? I put it here at number 4. Number 3 is North Pole, Alaska. Not the actual North Pole, even though that would be fun. I have a friend of mine, Rusty, travels around the world. Actually, as of this recording, he is in Nicaragua at the time, just living it up, showing me pictures, summer beach pictures everywhere, and telling me how wonderful it is. One of the places he's going, well, he's going to Iran, which is awful, but he wants to go, and he found a way to travel there. And so he's doing that. He's going, and then he's also next year planning a trip to North Pole, Antarctica. Now, I want North Pole, Alaska, but let me just talk about North Pole, Antarctica. You have to charter. It costs. It depends, but $20,000 to $30,000 is the boat trip. A cruise, Antarctic cruise, is $5,000 to $10,000, but you don't get to set foot on the mainland. If you want to set foot on, the North Pole or the Antarctica or whatnot, you have to pay. It depends on how the smaller the boat, the more expensive it is. But I think it says about $20,000 to $30,000. You touch ground, you march, you camp there overnight. No, thank you. But you can say, I've been to Antarctica and the North Pole. I guess. But there's certain, I mean, he's visiting the entire world. That's his dream. That's how he spends his money. He doesn't spend his money going out to eat or doing other stuff, or he doesn't have any hobbies. His hobby is traveling and seeing the world. And bless him. He's going to get to see the world. In a way, I envy that. But at the same time, Antarctica, North Pole, no. Mine would be Alaska, the North Pole. North Pole, Alaska lives up to its name. It has a Christmas theme. Everything is, of course, covered in snow. I suppose they got a lot of Christmas stuff going on. Now, I hate the cold. If anyone doesn't know that, absolutely despise being cold. That's why I live down here in Louisiana. Not cold at all. Not cold at all. But for me to go up there, I guess it'd be just a nice trip. I've always wanted to set foot in Alaska, generally in the summer, where it's nice. My buddy Rick used to live there, did a vlog about it for like 1 or 2 years. It was the best thing in the world. He would just show you what living in Alaska was like, and I loved it. And then he stopped, and then his wife got really sick of Alaska, I guess. And so he moved back down to Dallas, which is where he resides now. But he loved Alaska. He loved his life up there. And like he would go to bed in a full coat. It was 40 degrees in his house, he would say, and that's heated. Or no, maybe, 40 degrees in his house. And in his garage, it was 0. It'd be 10 degrees or 0, because it wasn't insulated or heated. But it'd be 40 degrees in the house. That was heated. and it'd be negative something outside. He was up in North Alaska too. So, I mean, he went out there like chopping trees. Trees would be frozen solid. He hurt his arm because he realized an axe is not what he needs. He needs a chainsaw. Everything was super expensive. Like, I would order him food and ship it up there because it was cheaper than buying it there. Like a little thing. This is back before the now. Ever since inflation has gone through the roof, this doesn't sound that tough. But a jar of peanut butter was $10. Now it's probably 20 in Alaska. So I mean, everything he showed me, he had it was like a ham and cheese sandwich, and it was $10, and it was like a sandwich that you and I would make in our home. So it's the equivalent of having a $20 sandwich now. And he took me a picture of it. He's like, he said $10. I went, $10 for what? That sandwich? He went, yeah. I went, no. He said, looks like I'm going to have to start bringing my own meals. I mean, they don't have any taxes up there because we robbed their oil. But but you know what? Oddly enough, I do know have someone else. I have someone else who lives up there in Juneau, or no, Anchorage. He lives in Anchorage. His wife works for the governor. I think she's a state attorney general, something like that. And she's great. She has a big office. They make tons of money, but you have to live in Anchorage. And I can't remember what he does, but they both love it. They both love it. They love Alaska. They love the snow. So good on them. They're Alaskans now. These people grew up in Louisiana. Had a beach wedding. Would never see the beach again, I guess, unless they leave Alaska. But for me, the North Pole, Alaska, would be kind of cool, and definitely something I'd like to visit once. By the way, in reality, how many of these places am I going to? 0. 0 is the answer. I'm going to none of these places ever. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Now, next up. Oh, excuse me. What's the next one here? Oh, yeah. Number 2. My wife's going to be really happy. This will be her number 1 place, I think. Branson, Missouri. No, I think her number 2 and number 1 will be the same as mine. Branson, Missouri. I've been to Branson before. Used to go all the time. Used to have some friends up there. Still have a good friend up there that I talk to all the time. Haven't seen him in years, but miss him greatly. And would love to go. And my wife would love to go. So maybe when the kids get older, we'll take a trip up there one time. But Branson, Missouri, big tourist attraction place. It's one big tourist trap. Went up there in the summers all the time. Had a great time. But Christmas time, magical time. Everyone loves Branson, Missouri at Christmas. I don't know. His name is Kyle. He used to run some of the malls up there. And it was like a specialty mall, not your average mall. It was a indoor shopping center full of stores where there was like a fudge making place, and the fudge lady would sing. Okay, I mean, stuff like that. They had an IMAX movie theater was there too. I remember, and he and his brother ran the IMAX, and he ran basically the food court area of the mall. And they're smart guys. They manage stores all the time. He was a great guy. I mean, I really miss those guys. I really, 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 really miss my buddy Kyle and all his brothers. And boy, howdy. And going up there was always fun. There was always things to do in Branson. Branson's a fun place. Old people think Branson, Missouri is like Disney World. That is Disney World for everyone 60 and over. That's probably why it's going to be attracted to me as the years go by. As the years go by, I'm totally disenfranchised with Disney World, by the way. Totally. And now here I am pondering. I have Branson, Missouri, number 2 on my want-to-go list. And I even said in a couple more years I may take the kids. So that means I'm getting older, and that means I'm going to be like loving Branson, Missouri. I get the call. It's like the elves in Lord of the Rings. They get the call of the ocean. It's the call of Branson, Missouri when you get to be 60, I guess. So my wife she grew up by her great-grandmother raised her as a kid. Mom didn't want her when she was born. Grandma didn't want them. What grandma doesn't want their children? Anyway, the great-grandmother legally adopted she and her twin sister. And I said great-grandmother, which means they went to Branson, Missouri a lot. So my wife has nothing but fond memories of Branson, Missouri and Silver Dollar City, and she would love, in a heartbeat, she would go to Branson, Missouri. I'm positive this would be her number 2. Maybe her number 1, but pretty positive it would be her number 2. Because I know she loves my number 1. But anyway, Branson, Missouri would be there. Christmas time, lots of Christmas shows. Lots of Christmas decor, lots of Christmas lights, lots of things to do during Christmas. Me getting to see my good old buddy Kyle and having a great time. All the above, right? All the above. I would love to do Branson, Missouri, and maybe I'll start falling in love with it as I get older. Who knows? 60 definitely. I'll be wearing Branson, Missouri sweaters everywhere I go. Anyway, and then saying, oh, that look at that family singing that Christmas caroling. Oh, I love listening to them. That's when you know you're old, I guess. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Yet, I say. Um, Next thing, number one. Number one is probably the number one on my wife's one as well. It is New York, New York. Yeah, of course it's New York. New York because mainly I've never been. Like to go to Broadway. I'd like to see the sights in New York. But yeah, New York at Christmas. Get out of here, Rockefeller Center, the tree, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'd love to see Christmas in New York. That'd be fun. Yeah, it's all the sights. I'm total tourist, by the way. And by the way, I'd love to go in the summer when the Mets are playing. But then I also don't enjoy punching myself in the face by watching the Mets probably lose the game I go to. My brother this summer went to a Mets game. Super jelly about that. Wish I could go. Now that's his second time ever to be in New York. When my whole family went to New York, I could not go. I was working. My wife went up to New York when my brother lived there years ago. My brother was, well, kind of is still a professional opera singer. And he lived in New York for a couple of years, getting steady work. And so my wife just wanted to go up there. I said, go up there. So he stayed with the family. She had a great time. That's why I think New York would be her number one because she loved New York City. She loved it. Absolutely loved everything about it. I would love to visit. I'd love to visit. Wouldn't like to live there. Would love to visit, see the sights, and go home. That's it. Call it a night. But definitely New York City would be fun to visit. With all the decor, also there'd be some friends I would definitely want to see. There is a lot of friends I have in New York. Sadly, one of them just passed away, and it's sad because I'd love his family's still there, but his family's kind of scattered all over the city. So I may not make the time to see him, but if he was still alive, I would definitely have gone to see him. He just recently, I think he died earlier this. It was actually very early this year, or second week in January or something, I think, or maybe it was last year around Christmas. I can't remember, but yeah, took a tumble down the stairs. Just an old man, I guess, but wasn't that old, but took a tumble and didn't get up. So that's so sad. But have a few friends out there that I definitely like to see. My buddy Vinny, he loves board games. Love to say hello to him, and of course my buddy Joe, who I love to see as well. So a few people in New York that would be fun to see as well. But New York, probably number one for that reason. But I also the friends, definitely friends included. Obviously Branson, New York made it to the top because they're friendly. If Kyle didn't live there, Branson, Missouri would be falling on the list a little bit because my wife would really love it, but mainly to see friends. I'd like to go to places where I can see friends. That's why the other places didn't go low. And since I have more friends in New York that I'd love to see, New York won out. Like if I had way more friends in Branson, Missouri, it'd be Branson, Missouri. But I didn't want to pick it places where I want to go just to visit friends. Yeah, I'd also want to see the Christmas decor too. So I guess it's kind of split 50-50 there. Either way, I guarantee you, seeing friends around the holidays, of course, that influences my decision. Like, I swear, I hope I never set foot in Disney World again. But if I do, I get to see my good friend Ryan and Isaac, who both live in Orlando right now. I love hanging out with them. I'd love to see them. I don't think there's another. I never want to go to any park again. I don't think I ever want to go to another park again. Theme park. I don't think theme parks are worth it. I'd rather just do other stuff. I'd rather just hang with the boys. I don't think I'd want to do another theme park. However, if I did go down there, the biggest draw for me would just see my friends in Orlando. But that's just me. So let me know, folks, in the comments below, what would be now maybe you know destinations. Maybe you live in an area like Matt. You've got to come to St. Louis or Houston or Seattle. We have this great Christmas thing. Go ahead, let me know. 'Tis the season, right? Harp on it. I make my town here in Louisiana feel like Christmas heaven. I remember one guy every year I'd post Yum Nub's holiday special, and he'd go, "Man, that must be just a Christmas wonderful place to be around Christmas." I'm like, actually, no, it's not. I'm making this sound really good, and it's really not that exciting. I mean, we have a few things fun, but it's not like a holiday destination. But he said I kind of made it feel like one. But anyway, thought that was funny. Anyway, let me know in the comments below 5 destinations that you'd like to go for Christmas, and I'll see you next time on Saturday Morning Samoflange.